Hi everyone, this is Natalie from Own My Health, and today I'm going to talk to you about the pace of life and how do we go about doing that so that we can be the most effective, the most vital, and the most energetic and loving people that we can be. Because sometimes we just feel just too exhausted and too overwhelmed to be great to ourselves and to be great to the people around us. There's never enough time to do all the things that are on our never-ending checklists of to-dos. And as we continue to try to mark those off, more things get dumped on us. We are overwhelmed with responsibilities, and we have a tendency to say yes to everything that gets thrown our way. And there's always the perfectionism that's oftentimes exposed in social media, like Instagram and Facebook, where everybody is always smiling and they're doing great fun things, they're in their great sunny places, or they've got their arms wrapped around people that love them. So everything is always good all of the time. So we have this really high bar of perfectionism that we're always trying to seek in every aspect of our life. And where does it end? How do we stay real to ourselves and the people around us that sometimes we're just not in a great place? Sometimes we are tired. Sometimes we're not in a great mood. And we just need to be real with these things and be able to collect our thoughts and say, why is this happening? Why am I here? There are opportunities where you can start to adjust and be more reflective and more aware of yourself and your energy and how you manage this so that you're having less of those down times and those less vital periods in your life where you're just not your optimal self. And I just want to share with you my thoughts about how to create a better sense of pace in your life. And the key word here is around punctuation. What do I mean by punctuation in your life? Well, we oftentimes will wake up in the morning with, either we're tired and just can't wait to turn on the coffee machine or the espresso machine and just kind of drag ourselves into the car or whatever it is that we do. We're just not high energy people in the morning, or you bounce out of bed, or there's everything in between. But we do start off with this idea that time is just this nonstop process, basically from the time we wake up to the time we sort of go unconscious or fall asleep or whatever you want to call that, it's just this, constant barrage or, this evolution, almost like getting into a car and just driving all day without any stopping. And so why I like to actually use the word punctuation is the punctuation in a sentence allows us to take some mental breaks. So if you were to think about punctuation as it relates to a really, really long run-on sentence, we can almost equate to how we sort of live our lives in some way, that from morning until night, it can feel like just an ongoing run-on sentence, meaning it's just a whole garble of words and letters. Sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't, but there's just no break. There's nothing that gets us to stop and think, what did this say? So as we think about the punctuations that we use in normal conversation and in normal writing, I'd like to reflect on the punctuation of the parentheses that you put around words. And why I think this is such a great metaphor for life is that sometimes if we put these parentheses around certain aspects of our day, or even on past reflections of our life, it gives us a chance to pause and think about this as a contextualized period in our life, especially if something has gone on that's not quite right, or makes us unhappy, makes us feel sort of an emotion that's not really positive. It could be a death in the family. It could be the end of a relationship. It could be a period in your life where you gained a lot of weight or were really feeling unhealthy. And the reason I love using the punctuation of the parentheses is that by using the mental construct of that as a punctuation, we can create a parentheses around that period of time and block it off from the rest of our life. Meaning, it doesn't have to be a catastrophe. We don't have to globalize that particular point in our life and make it stream into everything else to make it a long run-on sentence where it has affected everything in our life. It is a complete disaster. We'll never be the same again. Life is just over. And by creating that parentheses, we can effectively block it off, and to make sure that that was a parentheses in the universe or time period in your life that's kind of contained safely in a space that you've analyzed and that you're aware of, but it's not affecting the rest of your life or the rest of the metaphorical sentence. The other punctuations that I really want to emphasize is the comma and the period. So just like ending a sentence, it creates a sense of finality to a time span or your day. It creates an opportunity for pause, for us to take a breath, for us to look up and think about something different. And I like to use the opportunity for things like meditation, being able to stay quiet, close your mind, take a couple of deep penetrating breaths to create that pause. A pause before, for example, a very stressful business meeting, or a pause that you're going to take before giving a really big presentation, or the pause that you take when you are starting your day and you want to start to visualize all the limitless possibilities that are available for you in that day, or the pause that you take when you're having an argument with your spouse or with your kids. You could take that opportunity to pause before things really get out of hand and you're suddenly on an amygdala overload and you're just completely lost yourself. So those punctuations of the comma and the period is a great way for us to think about that in our life as well. The other punctuation that I think is really essential to be able to pace your life is the punctuation mark of the question mark. And some of us are actually people that ask a lot of questions, and some of us just take things as, well, this is just the way it always is and it's never going to change. Questions are powerful. Questions are, in my opinion, the beacons of light, and they are the navigators, if you will, of our path in life. We don't have all the answers, and so by able to seek guidance, first of all, with yourself and your higher self, asking those questions, but also seeking the genies, the people, the dream makers, the knowledgeable people out there who have actually achieved some of the things that you've desired and dream and want to manifest in your life. And being able to be bold enough and strong enough to be able to sometimes look vulnerable, sometimes look like you don't know what you're doing, or whatever it is that you're concerned about showing or asking questions, and being able to just boldly ask, I don't know, can you help me? And so we'll always be very surprised that when we can ask those questions, how amazing it is that people want to be able to help you. So I think the punctuation of being able to add questions, genuine questions, and to be curious and to be actively seeking the things that you're looking for and actively seeking the genies in your life to be able to help you to get there quicker, faster, louder, and more effectively. And the last punctuation that I think is a really amazing thing to include in our pacing of life is the exclamation mark. How often do you find yourself stopping at a point in your life or at the end of a day to say, oh my God, that was awesome, I can't believe I did that? Or being able to exclaim victory after you've done something that it was outstanding or that you've achieved it. I know a lot of times I've done that in the past where, you've got this to-do list and you checked it off and you kind of look at it in a flurry and on to the next thing. And you never really take the time to go, wow, that was awesome. I can't believe I did that. Or after, losing even a pound, you don't have to wait till you lose all of your weight before you go, wow, that's amazing. I've been able to consistently do this. This is incredible. being able to, make specific marks in your career or in your business or with your relationship, taking that pause and then exclaiming victory. And I think that the exclamation mark is another amazing punctuation to include in your life. So again, if I'm just going to leave that as a message for today, it's really creating the punctuations in life to help you pace and to create awesomeness in your day-to-day experience, so that it's not just feeling like an endless run-on sentence. So I invite you today to take some time to experiment with some punctuation, create some parentheses, block off some time, create the pause, the questions that you need to ask, and then the points of victory with your exclamation marks. I look forward to hearing your comments to see if this has worked for any of you or what your thoughts are. If you like this content, please subscribe or like this, and I will catch you later. You've got this.